Often we talk about and think about, well, what's the right amount that you should be saving for retirement? And that's critically important. But during rough patches, what's the minimum? What's the minimum amount that you should be saving for retirement? I've got that and more coming up. My name's Mike Bernard. I'm the host of the Wise Money Show. I'm also one of the certified financial planners right here at Korhorn Financial Group. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and smash that thumbs up button. No matter how much planning you do, life is still going to throw you some financial curveballs every now and again. There's just no way to avoid it. The question is, are you prepared, or as prepared as possible? And that's why we recommend and preach so much having the right financial foundation, 3 bank account system, the right structure to your finances, and also having the right financial habits as well. Those things that you do without even thinking about it. The habits that you have in your finances, and by the way, the rest of life as well. When a curveball all of a sudden comes, how much have those habits sort of distanced you from financial disaster and being able to manage a calamity or a financial surprise when it does pop up? So when it comes to retirement, hopefully you've built out that 5-factor retirement plan and you are saving aggressively towards this goal, and it all fits within the 6 areas of your financial life. We often tell people save as much as you can, or 15% of your income, and certainly build out that 5-factor retirement plan so that you know exactly how much you need to be saving and to reach your retirement goals. Another habit that we preach and coach people on is, well, no matter where you are with your retirement savings, increase it by 1% each year and around the beginning of the year. And that way you're continuing to save even more and get closer to those goals. But what happens when life throws you curveballs? What happens when you need to pivot and adapt and all of a sudden you're not thinking of the right amount or the maximum amount to save towards retirement? You got to pivot and think about the minimum amount. What's the lowest possible that you should be saving towards retirement on an ongoing basis? Well, I view this 2 different ways, or a few different camps, okay? And the first camp is just to get through a crisis or what's expected to be a short season of financial strain. These could be things like, well, we've got a health crisis, and therefore income is going to be a little bit short. Maybe it's because we weren't planning ahead financially, or we were trying to get ahead, but we weren't able to make as much progress. And now we've got a new child coming in, so that's new expenses. Maybe there's a sudden interruption to income or a short-term interruption to income, and maybe you're living off of some of those emergency funds or supplementing some income with your emergency funds. But something that's expected to be short-lived or just a short season. What's the minimum amount that you should be saving towards retirement? You might want to feel, or you might feel like that number should be 0. And my goodness, if it needs to be, then okay. But the minimum amount that we would coach you to save to retirement during these short seasons, these short financial crises, is just enough to get the full company match. Just enough to get the full company match. As we've worked with folks and helped manage crisis, oftentimes these will be between financial planning meetings, the crisis email or phone call to say this event just occurred, and usually we'll try to have a meeting or something like that. And in doing so, often the knee-jerk reaction is, I don't see how I could save up for retirement right now. But then taking a look, we're often able to say, well, could you at least contribute enough to get the full company match? And I don't know, not every time, but probably 75% of the time it's, I think I can do that, and we can weather the storm and still do that. Now, if your company match is a significant amount, so if you contribute 10, your company will contribute 5, then that may not be possible. But the average company match is around 4%. And I would anchor that to something called a safe harbor 401k plan, which is more and more popular these days. And that is a 100% match on the first 3% and 50% match on the next 2%. So if you do 5, your company does 4. If you do 5, your company does 4. And even during some of these financial curveballs or these crisis moments, reducing your 401k contribution from 10% or 15% or wherever you were at down to 5% so you can still get that 4% match oftentimes is doable, and I would hope that you could creatively work with your CFP to see how that's possible. So that's one camp, and that I think is the most common. That hey, there was a surprise expense or a health issue, or we were entering the college year or something like that, and things are tight. We've tried to plan ahead, but we've got to make an adjustment. I think we need to adjust the retirement savings, bringing it down to at least get the full company match is where we'd coach you. The second camp, though, is maybe something that's not expected to be short term, but something that could last maybe a long time. And this sometimes comes about when retirement is a big financial goal, but it's not the biggest financial goal. There might be another really big financial goal, or even more important. Maybe you're looking to start a business, or maybe you're looking to buy a house, or maybe you just have some lifestyle goals where you say, no, being financially independent at some point, that is important, but we want to do all these other things, or we've got these other financial priorities. And so it's not seen as this, as hey, just this short season, this short window, hopefully, but more of, well, how do we just sort of do what we need to do with retirement and accomplish these other things financially? If that's the case, then you've got to build out that 5-factor retirement plan. And that 5-factor retirement plan is one that's going to look at those 5 different factors, those 5 different variables or choices, and in doing so, help you find what the right glide path is, or the right long-term approach is to funding your retirement. So here you're not taking the call towards, okay, increase your retirement savings 1% every single year, or if you can do every time you get a raise, increase your retirement savings by that much, or try and max out your retirement savings. Instead, you're paying very, very close attention to that 5-factor retirement plan. And in this instance, you're saying, well, what's the minimum amount that I need to fund, that we need to fund retirement with, so that we can then go out and accomplish these other financial goals that we have. And know that those 5 factors, those 5 decisions, they might change over time. You might have a different choice. You might say, well, again, there are other financial priorities. So retirement, I don't know. We'd hope to retire by 67, or hope to retire by 70. And that might help you come up with the right glide path for that situation. But no, as time goes on, you might have a health change. You might realize, you know what, we need to retire at 65. And therefore your retirement savings may need to change. But doing that 5-factor analysis, what age do you want to be done? How much will you be spending in retirement? What are your retirement income sources? How much do you already have saved up? And then how much investment risk you're comfortable taking with your retirement dollars? If you can build that out and then solve for, well, what's the minimum amount that we need to be saving to be on track? That can help you in this second sort of camp where, retirement's important, but it's not the most important thing. We've got some other financial goals we want to accomplish. Whether it's your most important financial goal or not, likely it's going to be the one that requires the greatest length of time and the greatest amount of sacrifice for you to achieve. So whether that is along the way, odds are you likely could see some financial curveballs or need to make some pivots. Or even if you say, well, the retirement's just one of our big goals, we've got these other ones as well, you've got to be working with your certified financial planner so that you have the clarity and confidence that you're saving the right amount and that you can pivot during challenging times and still stay on track with your retirement goals. So work with your CFP on that. If you don't have a CFP on your team, you can contact one on my team. Find us online, Korhorn.com. That's Korhorn with K, wisemoneyshow.com. You can find us there as well. Or give us a call, 574-247-5898. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.